Hey, it's Mr. Krishma, and welcome to this quick video on how to complete your projects. So this is just a quick instructions, and how it all begins is that at the top, well, near to the top of the course, is your choices. So you have to fill out this quiz before the projects will show up on the course page. Okay, I'm logged in as a student right now, so I have student view, not teacher view. So if I go in here, you're going to see that I've actually already completed my quiz. So it says reattempt quiz. For you, it'll say attempt quiz. And you have to choose 3. So I chose the business manager, the landscaping, and the create a game. You can choose any 3 of these 5. Once you click the finish attempt button, it's going to save, submit all, and finish. That is what I want to do. Okay. So now that that's done, it's not for marks. It's just a little quiz that once you've chosen that, certain things are going to pop up onto the course feed. So now that I've chosen that, I'm going to click back to Workplace Math 10. There's a little handy link there. And if I scroll down, I'm going to have access to the projects. One of the projects is for Chapter 1 on graphs. So now there's a Business Manager graph project outline here. For Chapter 3, there's one that says the landscaping project outline. And then down in probability, there's a create a game. So there is one for I think the financial literacy, if you chose that project. And there's also one for the trigonometry, if you chose that one. So what has happened is that lots of students get confused here. But there's actually 2 parts to this project. There's an online part that's in StudyForge, and then there is a hand-in where you actually hand in a specific part of your project. So you're going to see that there's an outline and there's a hand-in box. I'm going to scroll down to Chapter 3 just so you see the same thing there. There's an outline and there is a hand-in box. So those won't be there until you've completed your quiz. So if you go looking for them, you have to make sure that you submit the quiz and then it'll show up. So anyway, if I click on this business project, it's basically just going to have a couple instructions and it's going to show you the rubric that you're going to be graded on. Okay, I'm going to go down and show you a couple of the other ones. So let me go down to the probability, creating a game one. This will actually help with the steps I'm going to show you next. So when you click on one, this one's got a little bit more instructions, and there's different parts to this one. So this one, if you take a look, there's parts. It says part 1 in lessons 1 and 2, and then part 2 in lesson 3, and then part 3 in lesson 4. And there's a rubric on what you're going to be graded on. Now, why does it say lesson 1 and 2, and why does it say lesson 3, and why does it say lesson 4? Well, let's go back and I'll show you. So if we go back, oops, I have to go back to the course. If we go back and I'm going to show you in a couple different places, but now I'm going to open up a lesson. So the lessons take place in StudyForge, and this is where part of your project is going to actually happen. So in lesson 1, there's going to be a couple different videos. You have to click here to install Adobe. Let me just see for that. I have to hit allow, blah, 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 all that fun stuff. If you are having trouble watching videos in this course, you may need to click up to the view site information. And when it says flash, make sure that you say allow. So instead of saying ask, that's the default, make sure that you use allow. This is Google Chrome. So if you're using a different web browser like Firefox, or if you're using a Mac and you're using Safari, it's going to look different. But if you're on Google Chrome, that's how you get access to your videos, just FYI. Anyway, so this is the lessons, videos, and the practice questions. You've seen these in the course intro video up above. But what I want to show you is that down here, I think it's this one, there's going to be a section on, okay, here we go. on the project. So the project actually has this little PR for project, and you can see it's the business plan. So that is what the project is for chapter 1 on graphing. And you're going to see, I've already viewed it, but you won't have. So if you click on this, there's actually just a couple of things here. It asks you, so it says use the space provided. This is the space that is provided where you can type or you can use your mouse. And it says use the space provided to information, maybe to show your information, maybe a typo there, for me to research or upload an image to the space. Reminders about your research, make sure that you keep track of your list and your resources. Da, 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 da. So you can show that right here. I think if you also click this button, there's going to be a couple steps that it shows you. So this is all in lesson 1. Now, I want to show you that if you hold your mouse over the PR, this is going to pop up and you can actually go to the project page. And this is where everything for your project is going to be. And so it's a really great spot. So you're going to see that there's the research business here. There's research details that I've already viewed. So this is in lesson 3. You can see that the first part was in lesson 1. This part's in lesson 3, and I haven't viewed this question yet. So if I want to view this one, let's see, lesson 4, did I watch this stuff? It looks like I already viewed this. It's going to look different depending on if you viewed it or not. So if I want to go and view this section, I've got to go to lesson 3 on stacked bar graphs. And I'll scroll down. Here is the research section. I have not taken a look at this question yet. So Coolio. Now I've seen that. And then if I go to the project page now, everything should show up. So now I've viewed everything and you can take a look at everything. So this is all the information that you're going to need to know for the business plan. And you can see that there's a couple different ways to navigate here. So I showed you that you can touch on the PR button. If instead you're in chapter 1, you can go, if you hold over these 3 dots, you can hit view progress on chapter 1. And then one of the things here is going to show you how you're doing in your chapter. And then there's the project business plan. So then you can actually click there and you can click full details. This is another way to do it. So what I'm going to do now is instead, I'm going to access the next chapter through this view. So if I go to chapter 3, well, actually, just go to the probability. Chapter 6, probability, that was the chapter that had the create a game. So if I hit view progress, it's going to say, oh, probability in games. So there's the project, as well as all the lessons and other things. So now if I click on that, I can go to full details, and I can find out a bunch more about this game. Okay, so there's an introduction in lesson 1. You can see that these questions I have not viewed yet. So there's a bunch of stuff in question or in lesson 1. It looks like there's some more in lesson 2, and so on and so forth. There's lots of different parts where you're going to have to show some research and have some answers. So your grade for this project is not only going to be on the game that you create, but it's also going to be on the answers that you submit for this. So if I go into lesson 1 from that page, it's going to show all the different things that I need to look at. So I'm going to click this arrow, take a coin, flip it into the air, and call heads or tails. And it tells you to do certain things. Did you guess right? And if you go through there, there's a couple little setup questions, and then you're going to actually go through. And there's going to be a question here. You can navigate to the next question by pressing this. That will take you to the next one, or you can cancel out and then go to the third one if you wanted to. All right, so now I've viewed all of them. I can take a look and keep going. Now, one of the things that I did want to show you, though, is that if we go to the project page, and if you complete it, this is important, if you've completed your work, you can share your work. Now, when I went to go do this, when I go to invite a teacher, it doesn't show myself. I'm not sure if, I'm guessing it's because I'm in student view. But if you're in student view, I'm assuming that my name's going to be here. Otherwise, it looks like you might be able to, let's see, click this button. Well, that's an error. I don't know if it's going to give you an error. I'm in student view, so it's not exactly the same as yours. It's just like a copy of it. You could also copy this link and email it to me, it looks like, and show that you have completed this project. Or you can just send me an email and say, hey, I finished. And then as the teacher, I can come in and I can check your progress on the project. So when you have fully completed all of your game project in StudyForge and you've created your game, I'm going to go back to the course page. And I'm going to scroll down to the bottom where chapter 6 is. So in this, you're going to submit into the create a game. This is where you're going to submit the game that you made. So you can add submission. You can submit your Word doc or your PDF into there. It's done. When I go to grade this, I'm going to grade the game that you created, or whichever project you're doing, whichever project that you've chosen. And then I'm also going to look in StudyForge to see what you've completed. So I hope this helps you out. I think it's important just to note that when you are completing your projects, there's a part that you complete that's going to be paper-based that you submit into me, but then there's also going to be a portion that's just completed within StudyForge, and those sections are going to be graded separately. So the projects are designed to, give you some real life workings with this content so that you can see, oh, this is how, probability connects to the real world, and this is how surface area connects to the real world, and this is how, graphing connects to the real world. So I hope that you enjoy that part. Sorry that it's a little bit confusing. Once you actually figure it out, it becomes quite user-friendly, but just the initial startup is quite difficult. And I think that I thought that it was easier. So having made this video, I hope that it explains it in a way that you're not confused. And if you do have any questions, pop into my Skype hours. I will help you get through your project. Anyway, thank you for watching and have a great day.